We can prevent child abuse, but we cannot prevent it if we ignore it.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 7, after recent stories of child abuse, both locally and nationwide, we hear from two local experts on how to protect your children from predators.
WJBF Live Viper 6. A few showers pushing across our Midland counties of South Carolina. We'll take a closer look coming up in just a second.
Also tonight, the latest on the investigation into a murder of an Augusta woman on April Drive. Your News at 7 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 7.
Good evening, everyone. You're watching News Channel 6 at 7. I'm Dee Griffin. Thanks for joining us. Well, the topic of child abuse is in the spotlight both nationally and here at home. News Channel 6's Ashley Osborne shares how two local experts say you can protect your children from predators.
1 in 10 kids will be sexually abused by the time they turn 18.
Carrie Viola Brooks says recognizing the prevalence is the first step.
There's not like a specific type of person or demographic that abuses children. It's anybody.
In many situations, predators use social media or texts to reach your children. GBI's Beth Messick says your parental instinct to take the phone or computer is not always the best route.
Because their worst fear is that you're going to restrict them or take the phone away, or you're never going to get to talk on your phone again if I let you know that this has happened to me. I feel like the best thing to do is keep that open communication so that they feel comfortable talking to you about what's going on.
She recommends the site netsmarts.org, which gives examples for how to talk to your kids about online dangers.
They start at resources that deal with 5-year-olds and they go all the way through high school.
She says don't just assume your child knows better because abusers are master manipulators.
So you consider the life experiences of a 35-year-old as they're trying to manipulate this 13-year-old child, and they're very good at it.
And body safety is something Viola Brooks says you should teach your child as soon as they can talk.
We teach kids that it's not okay to hit or kick or bite. We also need to teach them that it's not okay for somebody to touch their private parts. We can prevent child abuse, but we cannot prevent it if we ignore it.
In Augusta, Ashley Osborne, WJBF News Channel 6.
News Channel 6 is following developing news out of North Augusta. An employee at True Foundation's daycare on Hidden Hills Drive has been arrested. Wendy Nelson of Hepzibah is charged with 5 felony counts of unlawful conduct toward a child. The daycare called North Augusta Public Safety about incidents at the facility. Investigators found enough probable cause to issue the 5 warrants. An Augusta man is charged with child cruelty after being accused of beating his 3 stepchildren. Brandon Jones is in the Richmond County Jail. Investigators believe he hit a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old as well as a 10-month-old baby. They say a staff member at the children's school saw bruises, welts, cuts, and swelling on the older children. A daycare worker noticed bruises on the infant's forehead. The children are now with a family member. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill introduced an updated Violence Against Women Act. It expired after Congress failed to pass an extension last month. The updated bill expands protection for survivors of domestic violence. It would make it illegal for anyone convicted of dating violence or stalking to own a gun. The House Judiciary Committee plans to take up the bill next week. Now to Richmond County, where authorities are investigating a suspicious death. The fatal shooting happened around 8 last night on April Drive in Augusta. News Channel 6's Jenna Kelly has the latest.
I'm just kind of shocked with what's going on and kind of confused.
The coroner says Braswell was found dead by a gunshot wound last night at the 2800th block of April Drive. Officials are calling the death suspicious. We spoke to neighbors, but none of them wanted to be identified on camera. I
left around 10. I rode by and seen a bunch of police officers, and it looked like the coroner truck or something like that. And I saw the caution tape. It instantly concerned me because there has been some commotion that I hear from my home.
Other neighbors told News Channel 6 that a man working in Braswell's yard found her body in the living room, between the couch and the coffee table. One couple told us that Braswell lived with her boyfriend, who they named as Donnie. They say Donnie and Braswell had a tumultuous relationship in the past.
I ran down here because there was so much commotion, and I thought somebody was seriously getting hurt, and I believe it was her saying, stop, please, and get out of my yard.
People in the area that knew Braswell say she was kind, though some of them believe that what happened in this home could range anywhere from a mental health collapse to a domestic incident that ended in murder.
I myself question the circumstances behind everything.
She revealed that a relative of Braswell suspected it to be a domestic dispute.
I've actually spoke with somebody that is related to her, and that's what they suspected.
This neighbor tells me she knows the man Braswell was dating well and says he wouldn't be intentionally involved.
My heart hurts, honestly, because it's something that close to you. It's something you're never going to forget.
In Augusta, Jenna Kelly, WJBF News Channel 6.
This is an ongoing investigation, and we will share more details with you as soon as they become available. Now, an update on the reported neglected horses in Columbia County. 40 horses are being removed from a property on Rockford Drive. News Channel 6's Devin Johnson has been following this case since it broke, and he's live in Grovetown right now with the latest. Devin.
The community has been asking for the Columbia County officials to remove the horses, and today the horses behind me will be removed to better living conditions. This comes after Jose Ramon, Reverend George, relinquished his rights to the horses in his court case today. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office escorted him to the property on Rockford Drive to identify the horses, and District Attorney Natalie Payne tells me 25 horses will be removed today and tomorrow for adoption. The other 15 are being removed by their owners and taken to Florida by Tuesday.
I'm still worried about his family. But as for this, I'm glad this part of the chapter is being closed, that these horses are going to be taken care of, and maybe we'll get back to some normalcy.
And the rescue groups that were supposed to come today and adopt the horses, they are not going to be here tonight. They're actually going to be here no later than tomorrow morning. And the ones that you saw in the video with the stickers, that means that the Department of Agriculture checked the horses out. The ones with the orange marker means that those are the horses that the owner from Florida will take. As more developments come, we will give that to you. Live in Grovetown, Devin Johnson, WJBF News Channel 6.
And Georgia lawmakers have spent Thursday debating several bills before the crossover deadline of last night. Any bills that did not pass by at least one chamber by the end of the night is now considered dead for this legislative session. A bill did pass by lawmakers that would not allow abortions after a heartbeat is detected. Another bill was passed that would tighten the penalties for hate crimes. These bills now move on to the Senate. Mayor Hardy Davis is not a fan of those running for the District 5 Commission seat. Davis responding to a question about the candidates at a civic meeting Thursday. Published reports say the 4 running for District 5 have all faced legal problems, including speeding tickets, bankruptcy, and 1 spent time in jail.
To the degree that we've got 4 candidates, I wish there were different candidates. But this is the hand of cards that we have. As of yesterday, only 63 people had voted in early voting. I think that tells you something about how the district thinks about those candidates.
The special election is March 19th. Well, the Pollock Moore Academy wants students to be college and career ready. Delee Pollock Moore and her husband are educators working to get a charter school built in McDuffie County. They want to house about 200 students who may prefer small class sizes to excel. The proposed school would be zoned for all students who live in Harlem and McDuffie County. Pollock Moore Academy envisions helping students prepare for college. The focus isn't solely on college prep courses, instead teaching students trades, they say.
To incorporate our local industries, our local businesses into our school and be able to develop an employment pipeline.
For now, they are planning to build funding sources to set the foundation. Then Pollock Moore Academy will be looking for its charter. Well, Sunday we will all be losing that hour of sleep to daylight saving times, but you could be in luck if you're not a fan of the time change. Georgia Reed Godfrey reports several South Carolina lawmakers have filed bills this year that could do away with the hassle of rolling your clock back or pushing it forward.
It's a change we all make twice a year. turning our clocks either forward or back for the time change known as daylight saving time.
Honestly, I'm not exactly sure the whole point of it, but it can be a bit of a nuisance to turn it forward and turn it back and always having to get up an hour earlier or an hour later.
Historically, daylight saving time was introduced to conserve energy and maximize use of daylight hours. But now lawmakers say times are different. Several South Carolina lawmakers are considering doing away with the time change.
People detest moving the clock up, moving the clock back, and all of the ramifications that go with it. You know, people that come in church on Sunday morning, depending on which time it is, they're an hour early or they're an hour late.
Medical professionals say if you're already sleep deprived, losing an hour of sleep can have a negative impact. Doctors suggest making small adjustments in your sleep schedule a few days before the time change and try to avoid caffeine. A total of 4 bills have been filed between the Senate and the House, representing 2 different ways of how to deal with daylight saving time. Some lawmakers say adopt the time change, while others say let it go.
Most people want it to stay on daylight savings time. I personally am a proponent. I want it to stay on sometime consistently through the year.
I don't know how that would affect the daylight that we're trying to save, but I think we should continue saving that daylight.
The bills have been referred to the appropriate committees. Now it's just a waiting game to see when the bills will be added to the agenda. In Columbia, Georgia Godfrey, WJBF News Channel 6.
North Carolina has a bill this session to create a committee to study the impact of having or not having daylight saving time. In Florida, lawmakers are there pushing for an exemption from Congress to make their own decision and allow for daylight saving time to become the standard time.
Mostly cloudy skies across the two-state, even a few showers. Check out our radar. This is what it looks like right now with some showers across the Midlands, northern Midlands, a few showers back into northern Georgia. All this sliding off to the southeast. Right now, a couple sprinkles in Washington, Lincoln, and northern Columbia County over towards Edgefield along Highway 39 in eastern Aiken County. Saluda also picking up a few showers. So look for those showers off and on tonight into the overnight. Jiffy Lube Skyview Network, Bobby Jones Expressway. A lot of folks out and about kicking off their weekend under those cloudy skies. We're at 64, winds north at 7 miles an hour. Forecast this evening 60 at 8, 56 at 10, and by midnight we're at 53 with a slight chance of sprinkle. More coming up for your weekend forecast in a second.
The father of a journalist murdered on live TV is pleading with lawmakers to change gun laws. I'm Bree Jackson on Capitol Hill, and I have details coming up.
What's up, Georgia? I'm John Crow with your Cash 3, Cash 4 Georgia 5 evening drawings. First, it's time for 5-card cash, where you can win up to $150,000. 6 of clubs, 7 of clubs, 8 of clubs, 7 of hearts, and King of hearts. Now, let's play Cash 3. Your first winning number is 9. That's followed by 9, and your final winning number is 4. Again, if you have the numbers 9, 9, and 4, way to go. Now let's play Cash 4 and win you some money. Here we go. Your first winning number is 1. That's followed by 9. Up next, we have 9, and your final winning number is 7. Again, if you have the numbers 1, 9, 9, and 7 in any winning combination, congratulations. On to Georgia 5. Here we go. Your first number is 6. That's followed by 1. Up next, we have 9. Your next number is 9, and your final Georgia 5 number is 6. Again, those numbers are 6, 1, 9, 9, and 6. Good luck and play on, Georgia.